to order the called meeting for July 1, 2020. All right, so the first item on the agenda is approval of council code of ethics.
Council, this code of ethics was initially passed in July of 2018. I think it's our intent, or at least it was at that time, that council members would periodically, typically at a term of an election after new council members have been appointed, would readopt the code of ethics at that time and then sign it as well at the same time.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the code of ethics? Or reapprove it?
I move that we approve the current updated code of ethics.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Any discussion?
I heard the word new. Does it change?
It's not a new code of ethics. Code of ethics has stayed the same. Maybe you want to clarify new, Mr. Farnham?
To make a motion to reapprove the current code of ethics. Okay.
Second.
Okay. Yeah. And like I say, I think when we first put this in place, the idea was that when you have, after an election, you kind of review that and, where you're looking at it again and reapprove it. So, anything else? All right, clerk, call the roll.
Farnham.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Wingard.
Yes.
Hartley.
Yes. All right, item number 2, council appointment to CDBG subcommittee.
Council, at the last meeting, I think last Tuesday, I think Mr. Wingard suggested that we have a subcommittee for the CDBG funds, and as we're starting to move into that process, I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and get that subcommittee formed today. And so we just need council to appoint 2 members to that CDBG subcommittee.
All right. So, anyone, before we make a motion, does anyone, you mentioned it, would you like to start?
Yeah, if I was nominated, I would serve on it.
Okay.
As would I.
All right.
So I would nominate that for the CDBG subcommittee. We would appoint Mr. Wingard and Mr. Osborne to serve on that.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? No? Clerk, call the roll.
Farnham.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Wingard.
Yes.
Hartley.
Yes. All right. Item number 3, supplemental appropriation of $54,840.
Council, this is, and I'm going to let Mrs. Spradlin go into the details, but just as a reminder, this is the CARES money funds that we have discussed. These funds would be used to fund a police officer position and a firefighter position. That would be, their jobs would have to be related to the COVID-19 pandemic for the time period of this funding, which would then expire on December the 30th of 2020. And I'll let Ms. Spradlin go into any details.
I'll just add that for this supplemental appropriation of $54,840 on June 23rd, 2020, Council approved the fiscal year 21 budget. In a discussion on June 25th, 2020, members of Council directed that certain supplemental appropriations be presented for approval at the July 1, 2020 called meeting. The staff recommendation is for the approval of the supplemental appropriation as listed to fund 1 police position and 1 fire position from the CARES money the city received in June of 2020.
Okay. Don't think there was a list back there, but it does have a space here for public comment if anyone has a comment. So, all right. This time, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the supplemental appropriation of $54,840.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. Hearing none, clerk, call the roll.
Farnham.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Wingard.
No.
Hartley.
Yes. All right, item number 4, budget transfer.
Mayor and members of council, on June 23rd, 2020, council approved the fiscal year 21 budget. In the same discussion on June 25th, 2020, as for the previous item, members of council directed that certain budget transfers be presented for approval at the July 1st, 2020 called meeting. Staff recommendation per that discussion is to approve the budget transfer of fiscal year 21 budgeted items to fund purchasing position, Parks and Recreation Programming 2 positions, Code Compliance position, and Economic Development position.
Okay. Again, any comment? Do I have a motion from the council?
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Osborne and a second by Vice Mayor Farnham. Any discussion?
Well, I'm on the same ground I was the last time we talked about this. I don't think we need to be pulling money out of our capital and moving it around. This city has a lot of needs, and when we start doing business like this, it's gonna catch us. And I disagree with it.
So I'll say, I do appreciate that we're able to keep this as a structurally balanced budget. We didn't, we had initial discussions about pulling from the unassigned fund balance or even the emergency fund. Moving this from the capital budget is not ideal, but it does keep us balanced. And sometimes, I don't like the idea of not being able to use those capital funds for capital projects, but sometimes you have to do, the right thing, and you have to do what your heart tells you. And in this case, I think that it's good for us to be able to take this opportunity to save these jobs for these people.
Well, I just wanted to say that, basically what we're doing is we're using some money, moving some money around, and using these to save some jobs. So, we've been through quite a interesting past few months, and we don't know what the future holds. We don't know what the world will be like in, say 6 months from now. But as for today, we can do this, and we don't have to send anyone to the unemployment line. So I support that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a place to sign up, but I would like to make a comment.
All right, but that's fine. If you could, go, that's fine if you want to make a comment. I don't know that there was a sheet.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, my name is Nancy Marney. I'm a resident of the city of Bristol, Virginia. I'm a property owner. I will make a comment that is a result of both my own thinking and also of conversations in which I have been a participant the last 2 days. Now, what has come from those conversations, and these are people of great intelligence and knowledge and experience. Now, that said, what I have been told, I will pass along to you, that what you are doing may very well be dishonest, and there's a great possibility that it's illegal. And they think you all are making quite a big mistake, and so do I. Thank you, Mayor.
Council, since whether or not it's illegal was brought up, I'll just, make a comment. I do respect Ms. Marnie's comments. She does make good comments here for council to listen to. However, this is a budget transfer. It's complete within the purview of council. There's no illegality in regards to transferring money between a capital account and over to the general fund account.
Okay. Before we vote, we discussed this at length last week, and, to me, I think what this does is it allows us to keep people employed, but more importantly, keep people in these positions providing services that we need to the city. Gives us a little bit of flexibility. It's only for 6 months, and by doing it this way, it also allows us to keep in line with our financial policies using recurring funds to pay recurring expenses and one-time funds paying for the capital expenses. Over the last few years, we've been building the capital up and actually using more of the recurring funds from the general fund that transfer, but now we've moved that over. So, all right. Clerk, call the roll.
Farnum.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Wingard.
No.
Hartley.
Yes. All right. Item number 5, budget amendment of $115,435.
Mayor and members of council, once again, on June 23rd, 2020, council approved the fiscal year 21 budget. In a discussion on June 25th, 2020, members of council directed that certain budget transfers be presented for approval at the July 1st, 2020 called meeting. This budget amendment is necessary to reduce the general fund transfer to the capital projects fund. As a result of that discussion, the staff recommendation is to approve the budget amendment that reduces the general fund transfer to the capital projects fund by $115,435. Planned police vehicle purchases will be reduced by the amount of the transfer.
All right. Any public comment? All right, do I have a motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Osborne, second by Vice Mayor Farnum. Council discussion?
I think it's a mistake.
And just to clarify, when we discussed this on Friday, the reduction in capital funds, we anticipate that there will be surplus out of the funds from the fiscal year that just ended yesterday that we can carry forward to kind of make up for what the difference, what we're taking from this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you won't know that exact amount until probably August?
I think August, it takes us typically the whole month of July to get the fiscal year closed. So I anticipate early August.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? All right, clerk, call the roll.
Farnum.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Wingard.
No.
Hartley.
Yes. All right. No further business. We stand adjourned.